Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. Alright folks, here we are after market close on Friday, July 28th. We're going to take a look at DNA today, Ginko Bioworks. I haven't looked at this ticker before, but I had some requests, and it's a wild and wacky roller coaster here. So I thought it was interesting to take a look. Now, typically when I don't have anything on a chart, I zoom out to the weekly and check out some levels. I think, though I might reverse this in this video, I think that there's enough going on in the daily that we can get some really solid levels. So I'm going to focus there because there's this obvious uptrend that actually, to me, as I'm looking at it now, looks more like a channel. Let's see if that is sort of my eyes playing tricks on me or if there's any reality to that. So if we go down here, if we can get this at 112 and, catch most of the action here. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a channel here, butting its head consistently, its head and its rear, whatever, and trying to bust through and kind of getting caught and maybe now getting trapped and coming back down, into the channel. So that to me is certainly something to keep an eye on. I'm just going to put this, I'll put this green. So we'll put this green for now. We'll see if there's any, well, there's certainly some good levels to look at here as well. There's this gap that was then recently filled. And so that will be something to watch of like, does it then retreat? It's trying to build a floor where that gap was. So it came up, filled that gap. It hadn't filled it before, as you can see here. And so it just recently filled it. It caught some resistance as it was coming to it, pulled back pretty significantly, and then made a real go at breaching that and filling that gap. And it did so, but now the question is, it's having these sort of wild and wacky days, up almost 9%, down almost 9%. It's like, so there's a lot of pretty significant swings day to day, but they're all happening around this filling of this gap. And so the question there is going to be, of course, will that hold, or is it going to retreat and retrace from that? That would be my main question. Now let me see if there's anything interesting happening where this floor is. Yeah, so I think it's probably down a little bit more. Something here more around 220 or so. So we catch this candlestick, we see there's obvious resistance levels there, and even if we go back, we see this is where it sort of caught some support near that level previously. It dipped down to, what did that say, 209 there, I guess, on this low. 209. So something there about 210 to 220 is certainly a level that I'd pay attention to. This one seems really obvious. I'll do some to the upside as well. This is not me just plotting a course downward, but just over $2. Obviously, $2 probably a very strong psychological level, but just over that, there's a lot of resistance, flipping to supports, and then big pushes off that. Resistance, breach, fall back below, resistance. So there's quite a bit of activity along those lines there. And then the last one I'll put to the downside, because I don't want this to just be a bummer video for any of the DNA bulls out there. I thought maybe there'd be a level here, but it's not really convincing me. Yeah, I'm gonna guess, the level's definitely more here. High ones. So you see all this support here, you see all this fighting here that eventually gave way, and it draws back here. Tried to build a floor here, gave way, fought back through, and then resistance re-emerged again. Sorry, it's very late at night and I'm like losing my voice. So hopefully this is coming through okay enough. Now let's take a look to the upside here. So if we get some good momentum going, I'm actually going to go left because it's not that helpful. Just like looking at those few candles of recent days. Let's see where the real price action lies historically. Here, 255 is a level for sure. There's going to be a bunch pretty tight in 243. And I'm just looking for a bunch of consistent flips, support resistance, repeatedly. That's what I'm looking for here. Okay, these are my levels to the upside. Places where I would look for it to kind of like try to establish, like if it's really going to establish, oops, I don't want that. Is that going to delete all my? No, okay. If it's really going to establish in either direction, it's going to try to build support and then either push through the resistance level above it, or it's going to fall through support and then try to catch support on the next level down. So this is really just plotting a course in either direction where it might show some movement. So let's pretend maybe it does come back into this channel. Maybe it doesn't, but maybe it does. And if so, 244, which is like right about where it is right now. I have 243.4. Is a really important level, and that's where the battle is right now. But that's, that gap level that we talked about. Up from that, 255 or 256, certainly it's tried to breach that a couple of times and it just had no luck. And if it can get through that and build support over that level, 273 or 274, certainly important levels to the upside. And I think that, that's probably enough, because even if it pushes 10%, that will cover that. So, if it comes back and folks are interested in finding out some additional levels, I'd be happy to take another look at this one if it picks a direction and starts to move strongly. I'll throw this one in just as a bonus. 286. That seems pretty obvious to me as well. Yeah, so those are the upsides and the downsides as I would see them for the time being. Let's flip over to Thinkorswim and see where we are channel-wise. So this is the same chart, DNA. It's on the daily. But here we're looking at sort of the trend and the squeeze movement potential. So we're sitting pretty high in the RSI, nothing like, super shocking. But we're also very high in the channel. So we got out of the channel here, drew back in. So, I wouldn't be shocked if we came back more mid-range on the channel. You see it spends time after this was a big move, and then it spent a bit of time in the mid-range of the channel, and then it moved again. And so if that tends to be sort of a pattern in this stock, then that might be something to look for. If it came back toward the mid-range there, that would put you, it's going to move day to day, but something around like 215, 220. And then, just sort of waiting to see the direction it's going to pick. Also, you see here, these like lighter blues are like the stronger sort of bullish momentum indicators, and these darker blues are bullish but lesser so. It's sort of like the dying bullish momentum, as you see here, right? Builds and then dies and then flattens out. But so it's just really sort of a bit on both ends of the spectrum right now. It's just, very bullish, less bullish, very bullish, less bullish. And it's just sort of like continuously flipping back and forth day to day. So it's a little bit unclear of what it wants to do and why. But, it's not unheard of for something to sort of get into the channel and then push above the upper bound of the channel and spend some time out of there. You see that here where it was consistently kind of pushing up above and beyond. Eventually it's going to pull back into the channel, probably. So I would keep an eye out for that. But yeah, my take on this based on the channel is, I would look to see where the momentum continues. If it dies down, then I'd look for it to at least come down to this mid-range, the midline here in the channel, and then sort of make a decision from there. If, the most recent candle here is this like more bullish candle. So if that can continue, it could certainly push back out of this channel, which would put it up above like 250 as it stands today anyway. So it's really just sort of like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So it's a little bit of a like sit and wait to see what it wants to do game. But it certainly is poised in an interesting position in the channel here, but as well, sort of like if it's going to dip back into this up channel that we have plotted and continue to spend time in here, these are like really nice to play for as long as they persist. You know, eventually all channels break, but you know, if this up channel persists, you know, it's really nice to be able to say, okay, we're at the top. Might be a good opportunity to peel some shares off, take some profit, and then, hey, we're down here toward the bottom of the channel. We might catch our support, and it might be a good chance to buy, you know, and sort of rinse and repeat. But time will tell, right? These are the questions of the market. But this is the chart as I see it. Like I said, drop me a comment if you'd like me to come back and take another look. I'd be happy to. Yeah, but certainly interesting price action recently, at least in the sense of like something's happening, right? It appears, here's the weird thing, it's like it appears like flat in the last several days if you just look at it in terms of like it's moving sideways, but that's not really what's happening. It's like pretty wild swings day to day. +9, -9, +5. What was this one? -4. It's like these are +4. You know, these are -10. You know, these are like really big moves day to day, and that's day over day over day. So interesting ticker here. Thanks for suggesting it. I appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully this is interesting to some folks. All right, y'all. It's late. I'm going to get going to bed, but I hope you have a good weekend and a good trading week ahead. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.